My mom pleaded with me to come home for Christmas. I'm Amelia Carter, 31 years old, from Clapham, South London. She called me on FaceTime, crying about how much the family and the kids needed me. I still got on a plane to Scottsdale, Arizona, carrying a suitcase full of presents. When she opened the door, her eyes went straight to my bags, not to me. She said I'd be watching my brother's children. They were heading out on a family getaway. Daniel stood there with a grin, the kids clinging to him, and the whole group was chuckling. That's when something inside me just shut down. I put my suitcase on the floor and spoke one single line. That line ruined their trip and put their home at risk. Before I keep going, let me know where you're tuning in from. Are you in a parked car, at an airport waiting area, in a peaceful kitchen, or on a late work shift? Echoes of Life is right here with you. 2 weeks before that 3 a.m. phone call on December 4, 2023, the signs were already building up. Mom texted me pictures of holiday flight costs. She said we could never swing a trip like that, unless you pitch in a bit, just this one time. Just this one time was how it all began. When Dad needed surgery on his knee, I sent money over. When Daniel ran up his cards chasing some online business idea, I stepped in. We combined his debts so his credit score wouldn't tank. When the water heater failed and the house payment fell behind, I wired more cash. Then I saw Mom sharing photos of her brunch outing the following week. I stay in a small one-bedroom flat in Clapham, South London. I make my own meals. I walk to my job even when it's pouring. Yet somehow I was still covering their streaming accounts and food deliveries in a home I didn't live in on a different continent. This time, before I bought my ticket, I paid close attention. I saved every Venmo payment, every Zelle record, every "Thank you, sweetie. We'll get it back to you once things settle." I quit erasing the proof. Then one email shifted it all. "Important papers about your home loan," the title read. Inside was a letter for David Carter and Amelia Carter, joint borrowers. I sat there in my London room, staring at my computer. Years back, they had put my name on it to get a lower rate. I didn't get what that really involved. Now I spotted the pattern. They weren't just relying on me. They had linked my future to their property. While Mom sobbed on FaceTime about the kids wanting me there, I looked at my banking app and that loan message. The only moments I counted as family were when a bill came due. I nearly turned her down. Then a different idea came up. If they could pull me across the world for my cash, I could finally say that's it. I wheeled my suitcase into the house. Lily and Noah took my hands, pulling me to the kitchen. On the counter was a printed schedule, pictures of the resort, flight details, family deal highlighted. Mom straightened the page like it was special. "Look," she said, her eyes shining. "This is why we wanted you here, dear. The kids will be with you. We get a proper break at last. You always tell us to look after ourselves." I glanced at the resort name on her open phone next to the flyer. Sonoran Vista Retreat. At the booking confirmation with the last 4 numbers of my card, something inside me froze. They figured I'd traveled 10 hours to provide free childcare. They expected I'd smile and say, "Sure, anything for you." "Can you gather everyone in the dining room?" I asked. "Just a couple of items before you head out." Dad sat in his regular chair at the end. Mom stood in the entrance holding the schedule tight. Daniel fiddled with his phone, only half paying attention. The kids twirled around on the floor. I placed my laptop on the table and opened a folder. Carter family. Lines of dates and amounts covered the screen. Wires, payouts, reminders I'd noted for myself. House payment catch-up, Daniel's card, water heater, truck tires, overdue power bill. Every "just this one time" had its spot now. Last March 2021, I started. You called because the house payment was 2 months late. I sent $1,360. In June 2021, Daniel's work costs maxed his card. I transferred $2,750. When the water heater broke, $1,080. When Dad's truck needed tires, $720. When the electric bill was past due, $395. I went down the list without rushing, including the extras: streaming services, delivery charges, family cell plan, shopping sprees presented as emergencies. Daniel quit looking at his phone. His face went pale as he read my entries. "I'll pay you back next month," in his own message. Mom's hand went to her mouth. She saw her texts next to deposits for fuel and that brunch she couldn't skip. Dad's face tightened when he saw the knee surgery copay, then the picture of the new TV bill. "This isn't right," Mom said softly. "You're painting us as the villains." "I'm not painting anything," I replied. "I'm just laying out what really went on." I went to the end, to one highlighted line. "In the last 38 months," I said calmly, "I've given this house $57,845. For 3 years, they labeled it as my duty. The list showed it differently. If this was your family, what would you pick? Comment 1, to keep supporting them without a word so no one seems wrong. Comment 2, to lay it all out and set a boundary." The room fell silent after I shared the total. Mom kept saying, "No, that can't be accurate." Dad stared at the computer, his jaw locked. I placed a small pile of documents next to their schedule. "This isn't legal action," I explained. "It's simply an agreement. Each transfer is marked as a loan, not a handout. You sign it, repay what you can. I'm finished acting like this was just giving." Dad lost it. "We're family," he shouted. "You don't burden family with debt like this." I looked him in the eye. "Family doesn't sneak a home loan on their daughter's name," I said. "Family doesn't use her money for trips and meals out, then label her selfish for moving away." Mom reacted sharply. "This is crazy," Daniel said under his breath. "I can't cover this." "I know," I replied. "I'm done with the tale where you're the one suffering and I'm the stingy professional abroad." I pointed to the laptop. "If you ever claim to anyone that I abandoned you broke," I said, "I have every invoice, every wire, every record. I will share them." Mom shook her head. "You wouldn't embarrass your own family," she said quietly. "I'm not intending to," I responded, "as long as you quit twisting the facts." I switched to another section. The resort symbol appeared. At the bottom, 4 numbers I knew. My card. "Remember what I said when I arrived?" I asked. "I'm not watching the kids while you vacation on my dime." Status: canceled. December 15th, 2023. I contacted the resort and the airline. I told the reservation was on my account and my card. I ended the booking. The money went back to me. Dad leaned in fast. "You had no authority. Those are our tickets." "They were purchased with my funds," I said. "The authority was mine." I opened the next message. 2 names in the title: David Carter and Amelia Carter. Joint borrowers. Mom's voice broke. "Amelia, please, not this. It was only forms." "You told me it wouldn't impact me," I answered, "but every missed payment hurt my credit too. I've already talked to a consultant. As a joint borrower, I share your risk. I can request the bank to take me off. If you can't get approved a loan, you rework the loan or sell." Mom shook her head firmly. "We can't handle moving," she sobbed. "That's for you and the bank to sort. What's for us is my name on your loan." I took one more document from my bag. "This is my alert," I said. "I'm ending all automatic payments for this place, and I'm shutting the shared emergency fund." "How will we handle everything?" "The same way I do in London, with your own earnings and your own results."
For the first time, I wasn't the one covering their decisions. The mood in that dining room grew tense. Dad looked at the papers, then at me. "This is harsh," he said low. "You're penalizing us because you feel superior." Mom's voice trembled. "What about food? The bills?" I turned the laptop around, brought up the automatic payments. "Starting today," I said, "these end." Clicks for house payment top-up, electric, internet. Confirmations came to my phone. Daniel slid his chair away. "Amelia, at least let us have some time," he begged. "You're 34 with 2 kids, Amelia. You should have managed that without me as your backup." Dad got up so quickly, his chair dragged on the floor. "If you leave after this display," he snapped, "don't come back." My legs were unsteady as I picked up my suitcase. Every bit of me wanted
To set it down, say sorry, make it right. "You're the ones who made my role here about cash," I said. "If I'm not wanted without my card, I was never truly wanted." Dad gestured to the door. "Leave." So I did. Outside, the sunlight seemed too strong. The kids were inside debating a show, still thinking a trip was coming that wasn't. I called a ride and gave an address I'd kept from them. 15 minutes later, we arrived at a modern building. 6 months before, in June 2023, I'd made a deposit on a modest one-bedroom condo in Tempe, Arizona. They thought it was a future goal. The deal was already done. Inside, it was mostly bare. A bed and 2 boxes. I set my laptop on the empty counter. Netflix ended, Disney Plus ended, Hulu ended, Family Spotify ended. Each notice felt like breaking a tie that had been holding me back. That night, the questions hit me strong. What if I'd pushed too much? What if they really couldn't pay the bills? Then I remembered Mom greeting me at the door like I was the sitter, Daniel teasing about messy Aunt Amelia after the long flight, the resort charge to my card. Under the worry, something small and calm took hold. Peace. A week on, a friend forwarded a screenshot of Dad's update. "Our daughter came from London and picked cash over kin," he posted. Folks offered pity to them and criticism for the unnamed daughter. My fingers paused over my phone. I almost asked him to remove it. Instead, I messaged my consultant, told her about the post and the years of payments. Her reply was straightforward. Record it all. Save every record. Ensure the records show who really paid. In the weeks after, letters arrived at their place. The bank needed fresh papers, the IRS had inquiries, utilities demanded full amounts, not partials. The mess I'd been funding finally cleared up. Their problems finally carried their names, not mine. By the following Christmas, December 24, 2024, being apart was our routine. I learned about my family from pictures, not calls. One rainy Tuesday in October 2024, there was a knock at my condo door. Through the viewer, I saw my mother. No heavy makeup this time, just a worn-out woman with a shopping bag. "I didn't realize it was like this," she said. "I always thought you had something larger." "This is what I can manage," I replied, "without supporting 2 homes." She reacted, then gave me an envelope. A check came out into my hand. "It's from selling items," she said softly. "It's not a lot, but it's a start." My throat got tight. The sum wasn't the point. For once, the money was coming my way, not leaving. "Your father still tells people you turned on us," she said quietly. "He says you put cash before family." "We did take advantage of you, Amelia. I did." "I'm not telling you to resent him," I said. "I'm telling you to stop changing the story." "Do you think one day you could join us for Christmas?" she asked. "Just a meal, no talk of money, no tricks." "Maybe," I said, "if everyone gets that I'm not the fallback anymore. If I come, it's because I choose to." After she went, I tucked the check in a drawer. I didn't deposit it. I just wanted evidence that the flow had switched. My dad didn't shift, just shared more unclear hurt messages. I silenced him, then blocked his account. On Christmas Eve, I sat by myself on my secondhand couch. No travel, no crises, just silence that was finally mine. Here's what I figured out. True family handles your limits. Users can't. I didn't pick cash over kin. I picked stopping the drain without a cost. If this tale hit home, please like, share, and subscribe. Stick with the real storytellers for more tales of inner power.